This week I teed it up on an iconic Ryder Cup course, but threw it all the way on the 18th. And back in the sim, I've finally started to understand what club path is thanks to GSPro. And there's been a major software shake-up from SkyTrak, and I've got a brilliant new viewer sim build and weekly challenge that you won't want to miss. So let's tee it up and get this round started. So earlier this week, me, Craig, Matt and Moz revisited the stunning 2010 course at Celtic Manor. Now we played this course, well me, Craig and Moz played this course about 18 months ago. It was October, it was wet, it was boggy, but it was still amazing. And we always said we would like to go back and play the 2010 Ryder Cup course when it's in mint condition. So we went and did that, and I have to admit that course is simply fantastic. However, it really gave me a reality check as to the levels and the difference between your local courses compared to these elite level courses. Let me explain. So currently I'm playing off a handicap of 8.4, which I'm very proud of. I've managed to get that down by about a shot and a half in the last 2-3 months. So that meant that when I got to the 2010 course, playing off the yellow tees, that I got 11 shots. Notoriously difficult course, fully understandable. Now back when I played 18 months ago, I shot 89. So what was that? 18 over par. Okay, so my target this time was simply to beat that score now that we're playing in non-boggy conditions. So what I did was I plotted and navigated my way around the whole course. Amazingly, I played so well. I was so proud with the way that I played. I wasn't keeping check of my score, but I knew that I was on for a decent one. Got onto the 18th tee. So the 18th at the 2010 is a par 5 with a huge lake just before an elevated green. It's a stunning hole. Now, I hit my tee shot straight down the middle. I hit a driving iron, perfect layup, and I left myself about 139 yards, okay? So that, to me, is a 9 iron. So in my head, all I was thinking was, get it over the lake, happy days, 2-putt, even 3-putt, and I'm going to get a score around mid-80s, and I would have walked off that course happy as Larry. However, golf being golf, likes to throw a spanner in the works every now and again, doesn't it? So, stood over this approach shot, this 9-iron approach shot. I was pretty nervous. I struck the ball. I hit it pretty well, a touch heavy, but as soon as it left my club, I thought, yeah, over the water, happy days, safe. However, the ball decided to stop at the very top of the hill, and with the hill being more like a fairway, the ball decided to roll all the way back down it, landed in the lake, and that absolutely annihilated me. The resulting shots was a complete head loss. I managed to keep it together so well for 17 and a half holes. I was so mentally focused. So yeah, I was playing 5 back over the lake, stuck it in the bunker at the back of the green, got it out of the bunker, proceeded to 3-putt, and I took a 9 on the 18th hole, which left me with a final score yet again of 89 on the 2010 course. Honestly, it took me about 2 hours to calm down. I was fuming with myself. But listen, overall, 2010 course at Celtic Manor, it is one of the most peaceful and tranquil places I've ever been. The golf course is absolutely fantastic. Every single shot you have to think about what you're going to do because there's a hazard placed in certain positions, and it wasn't just for me. I mean, I hit it pretty far, around about 240, 250 off the tee. I was playing with Moz and Craig, who don't hit it quite as far as me, and they said exactly the same thing. There was always something that made them think, maybe I shouldn't take that club, maybe I should take this club. And to me, a golf course that does that to you, that puts that little bit of doubt in your mind over every single shot, is just such an amazing challenge. And yeah, if anybody has the opportunity to go to the 2010 course at Celtic Manor, I would highly recommend you go and play it, because it really does separate the men from the boys. Now, one thing I do really like about Celtic, it's a 5-star resort, and the first time that we went, we got treated with absolute 5-star customer service. It was just so good. The staff were so helpful. You get driven here, there and everywhere. They take your clubs off you. They take them down to the first tee, all that sort of stuff. So I was really excited to go and have that level of service again. However, this time, for some reason, the level of service was actually quite poor at Celtic. Nobody greeted us outside the entrance to the 2010 clubhouse. We had to go into reception. There was quite a nasty smell. There must have been something going on with the drains or something at the moment. So that wasn't the most welcoming for a 5-star resort. The staff were late picking us up and sorting our buggies to get down to the first tee. But apart from that, I'm just being a bit pedantic. On the whole, like I say, just an amazing place to go and play golf. The bar areas are amazing. It was really busy in the main hotel resort bar. And yeah, we just had a few drinks afterwards and chewed the fat over a grueling round of golf. And yeah, I eventually calmed down after a couple of beers. Now, we didn't actually stay at Celtic Manor this time. What we did, there's a Holiday Inn just outside Celtic Manor. So we stayed there for cheap, and then the next day, we went and drove about an hour to a different golf course called the Rolls of Monmouth. Now, this is a course that I'd never heard of before, and I purposely didn't do any research into it. I'd just been told by the lads that it was a beautiful place to play golf from what they'd seen online. So I just wanted to turn up and just experience it firsthand and just see what it was all about. Now, it's actually got some quite historical significance to it, because this piece of land and the mansion that is on it is associated with Charles Rolls, who is the co-founder of the company Rolls-Royce. So apparently he used to live here, and the first ever Rolls-Royce engine productions were made on site in this manor house. Now, I have to say, the manor house was beautiful, an absolutely stunning building. We got there early, had a little bit of a put and a chill and a cup of coffee and stuff. And yeah, again, just another amazingly beautiful and tranquil place to play golf. The course itself was actually very good and in very good condition. I played significantly worse around the Rolls of Monmouth compared to the 2010. I think I'd used up all of my mental capacity getting my way around the 2010 course, that when it came to playing the Rolls of Monmouth, I'd just completely gone. So I ended up shooting a worse score there than I did around the Ryder Cup course. I just didn't play very well at all. And again, the 18th hole absolutely was the final straw. It was the final nail in the coffin for my weekend of golf. I stuck it in the water on the beautiful par 3 that overlooks the mansion. Yeah, so here's a clip of that for your comedy amusement. My head had gone. Oh! What's happened today? What the f is going on? The 18th holes. Fucking don't like 'em.
Here is the pin, Mitch.
Oh well, Mitch.
Now, this week in the simulator, I have actually had a little bit of a light bulb moment go off. So I've been working on this 90-minute practice routine that I spoke about in last week's episode. And particularly what I've been enjoying is working on my driver and trying to hit basically a 20-yard wide fairway on GSPro. And what I've just done, actually, I've never really used it before, but I've put the visual data on my second screen that shows all of your club data that you get with the GSPro connector. Now, what I figured out is I'm finally starting to understand my club path. So the GC3, the Foresight GC3 launch monitor that I use, when you've got the club stickers on it, allows you to get the club path data. So it shows up in a visual representation on GSPro, and it's helped me to understand, obviously, the direction that my club is travelling as it impacts the ball. But even though the GC3 doesn't provide club face data, so club face angle when I hit the ball, you can kind of work it out depending on your swing and the direction the ball takes off, and then the spin and the shot shape that you get. Now, what I've learnt this week is that my natural driver swing is ever so slightly out to in terms of club path, and my club face is often the cause of this horrible little push right or fadey right shot that I've got. So what I've been trying to do, I've been trying to combat that by just lowering my hands a little bit in the backswing as I get to the top of the backswing, and then trying to come round the ball to make it an in to out club path. And what I've found is that it's been working an absolute treat, because not only am I starting to straighten out my ball flight, I'm getting a little bit of a draw, I'm getting more distance because there's less backspin on the ball. And I've just played a round, well, I've just finished my 2 rounds on the Simulator Golf Tour, and I'll come to that in a minute, but I have to say my driving was absolutely sensational. Maybe because I've been used to hitting the narrow 20-yard fairway, but also because I'm starting to understand my driver swing a little bit more, and I've been able to tweak it with this 90-minute practice routine, and yeah, it seems to be working an absolute treat. So if you have GSPro and you are not using GSPro's visual data and your launch monitor provides club data, then I would highly recommend just sticking it up on the screen, even if you don't fully understand it, because after a little bit of time playing around and looking at it and just getting a bit more used to it, then you will start to understand what it means a little bit more. And yeah, that will hopefully help you improve your golf game. Now this week I made a conscious effort to finish my 2 rounds on the Simulator Golf Tour. It's the first time that I've actually had time to do that for a while. Now, like I've just said, I was absolutely on fire on the Simulator Golf Tour. Part of me is a little bit gutted that I didn't record the full event. I just got a few little clips as I was playing. But anyway, the first round, I started it, I didn't really have much intention of finishing it. There was one hole, I think I got a double or a triple bogey, and I think I 4-putted. I wasn't really concentrating. Anyway, I stuck with it and I just persevered through and ended up finishing 1 over par. I got a few birdies on that round towards the end. And then the second round was again fantastic. I had a couple of bogeys on the opening 9, and then towards the end of that round, I was absolutely flying with the birdies. And I've ended up finishing 1 under par, which is, I think, the best ever score that I've had on the Simulator Golf Tour. So the event was at DPC Toronto North, and the course it felt really generous. You know, I felt like the fairways were massive, there wasn't a lot of hazards, the pin positions were actually pretty kind all the way through. So there was some very good scores on the Simulator Golf Tour. I think at the time that I'm making this video, the leader is 20 under par. And I think I'm down in like 100th place or something like that at the moment, and I'm sure that will go down even further. But do you know what? I am dead proud of myself for finishing 1 under par over 2 events on the Simulator Golf Tour. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it this week, and I'm pretty sure I'll be back on it next week as well. Although even though I wasn't filming, when I did turn the camera on, the round, as per usual, threatened to go to pot. I'd not shanked a ball at all until I turned the camera on, and then it took me about 3 swings. Oh, I've shanked it. I've actually shanked it. I've not shanked one all day, and I turn the camera on and I shank it. Towards the end, I think I was, on the final round, I was 2 under par with about 3 or 4 holes to play, and I turned the camera on and I just wanted to get through those last few holes at 2 under par or better for that final round, and then I just started to get nervous, and that's when the shanks came in. But yeah, I thankfully managed to stick it out, and yeah, 1 under par is an amazing score for me on the Simulator Golf Tour. So onwards and upwards, let's see if I can keep grinding in the simulator and then getting some better scores in here. But then let's hope they translate to outdoors as well. So in terms of content this week, I've been working on quite a few different things. Now, first of all, I've been trying to get this kind of new show up and running. I found a structure for it. I hope people are starting to like it. And so yeah, I've been focusing a bit of attention on that, but I'm also creating a video breaking down my whole simulator build for those people who may be new to the channel and might not have seen my original video. So I'm going to kind of summarize it rather than documenting the whole build. I'm just going to go through each component that I've got, each piece of equipment, where I got it from, where you guys can find the same sort of equipment as well. So I'm hoping that'll be a really interesting video for a lot of people out there. I'm also creating a video on the 3 biggest mistakes that I made when I built my first golf simulator. So this is for more of the beginners who are looking into building their home golf simulator, and I'm kind of documenting what went wrong for me just so that other people can not make the same mistakes and hopefully save themselves quite a lot of time and money. And one thing that I've been asking, I've asked people on my mailing list to send me in some pictures of their home golf simulator if they are willing to share it on the channel as part of my viewer build section. Now, I sent an email out just asking people to send me some pictures or some videos if they're interested, if they want me to mention their name and where they're from, or if they just want to remain anonymous. And you know what, I've actually had quite a positive response. I wasn't expecting as many people to get back to me as they did, but yeah, it's been really, really nice to see how people have built their golf simulators and hear how my channel and my online course and my ebook have been helping people with their builds in terms of not only understanding what to do, but saving themselves a little bit of money as well. So it's been really nice to chat to viewers over email and direct messages and just hear those kind words that everybody's been saying. So I really appreciate that. Now, on that note, right, I have to mention this, right? I got a comment yesterday. Now let me get it up because I really want to show everybody this because this meant a lot to me. Okay, so I'm going to read it out. This comment is from Trailblazer7108, right? And it really touched me, this. He says, I've developed debilitating sciatica such that I'm no longer able to walk enough to play golf. I've been watching your videos for about a year, dreaming of the day I might have a golf simulator in my garage. I've bought a piece here and a piece there over the course of this year, mostly from eBay. Well, now I've pulled the trigger and bought most of the missing parts from Temu and AliExpress, which is all my budget can afford. I'm ever so thankful for your videos. They've given me hope that I might yet enjoy the game of golf even with my condition. Thank you for everything you do and God bless you. Now, Trailblazer7108, I had to give you a shout out in this video because you probably never know how much that comment touched me. So I've recently given up my full-time job as a school teacher to come and do this YouTube stuff full-time, which is honestly a dream. However, I was really apprehensive about giving up the teaching mainly because of the sort of gratification that it gives me being able to help young children develop and grow. And I really toyed with the idea of not giving that up because I knew that I was going to miss it. And then when I got that comment from you yesterday, mate, it just made me realize that I am still helping people, just in a completely different way to what I used to. So yeah, that comment really touched me yesterday and I loved it and I shared it on my Instagram because I was just, I don't know, I guess I was quite proud of myself, I think, in a weird way. But yeah, thank you very much, mate. And I thought I'd give you a shout out on this section of the video because it really meant a lot to me, that. Thank you. And most importantly, I genuinely hope that having a golf simulator allows you to fall back in love with the game of golf. Because yeah, being unable to play it must be absolutely devastating. I know how I would feel if I couldn't play golf anymore due to pain or any other reason. So yeah, I genuinely hope that you building a golf sim allows you to fall back in love with the game. So thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate it. SkyTrak's software has, in my opinion, been one of the best softwares out there in terms of launch monitors and game improvement. I've always been a bit vocal about how much I enjoyed the SkyTrak's game improvement plan. However, over recent months, their whole software system has had a bit of an overhaul for the better. Now, not only have they introduced some brand new driving ranges that you can play on to work on shot shaping and accuracy and just general game improvement, they also introduced their own course play software, which is actually pretty good. I've played on it a little bit at Golf Swing Systems. I must admit I don't have it in my simulator. However, they've taken it up another level lately, and they seem to have brought together two of the biggest rivals in the launch monitor industry. Not so much brought them together, but a little bit of a partnership going on with SkyTrak in the middle. SkyTrak have basically partnered with TrackMan and taken some of their courses from the TrackMan software, and you can now play those same courses using SkyTrak. And they've done the same with Foresight. They've taken some courses from the Foresight software, and you can now play them on your SkyTrak. Now, that is amazing, not only because it increases the catalogue of courses that you can now play with your SkyTrak. The even better thing is the fact that you can play all of those courses on Windows, Mac, iOS, and Android tablets as well, which is something that hardly any other virtual course simulator software offer in terms of quality and graphics and detail and realism of the courses. So the likes of GSPro, you need a gaming PC to be able to play all of the courses, but now with SkyTrak you have access to a much wider variety of courses than what you used to be able to get, and you can play them all on a tablet as well, which is absolutely fantastic for those people who are building simulators and they may be Mac users or they may just want to use a tablet. Now this opens up a wider variety of course softwares that you can play without having to buy a gaming PC. Now, the only negative I would say about SkyTrak and its software is it's locked behind a subscription. Now, you have to pay $130 a year for SkyTrak's Essential membership plan, and then if you want to get the Foresight courses included, then you have to pay an extra $220. If you want the if you want the TrackMan courses included, then you have to pay a further $220. Now, I'm actually going down to Golf Swing Systems next week, and I'm going to have a go using the SkyTrak and playing on the TrackMan courses and the Foresight courses just to see what they're like. I mean, I've played on the TrackMan courses using a TrackMan before. I've played on the Foresight courses using the Foresight launch monitors before as well. So it'll be interesting to go down, see how it all hooks up with the SkyTrak or the SkyTrak Plus, and I might even give them a go using them on a tablet as well, just to see how that is. Now, what are your thoughts on the SkyTrak software on the whole, and how do you feel about them kind of bringing in TrackMan and bringing in Foresight to branch out a little bit themselves? Let us know in the comments what you think about it. What do you think about the subscription prices and all of that sort of stuff? Like I say, I've always been a big fan of SkyTrak software. It seems to be getting better and better, but when it comes to paying courses, they're definitely making you pay out for it. Now, this week's viewer build has been sent in by Asgeir. Now, I'm hoping I pronounced your name right. I'm really sorry. I've been talking to you on email and I'm trying not to butcher it, mate. So I hope that's a decent pronunciation for you. But Asgeir, his home golf simulator, he sent it to me on email. It's absolutely amazing. Check this out, okay? So, he has got a stunning simulator setup in his garage in Iceland. Now, his room is about 25 square meters, with a height of 280 centimetres. So he's not the tallest of guys, very much like myself, and he's got a little bit less than the 3 metres or 10 feet of height than is ideally recommended, but of course it works for him. Now he's using a Foresight GC3 with ball and club data, and he used to have a SkyTrak, but very similarly to me, he's upgraded to the Foresight GC3, so great choice with that. He likes to use GSPro, and he is using a Carl's Place Enclosure, which, if my calculations serve me correctly, is about 7 feet by 9 feet. The hitting mat that he is using is a Fiberbuilt grass panel, and he said he does have an elbow issue. And this is by far one of the best hitting mats that he's ever tried. He's got a couple of swing cameras in there, one by Foresight, one by Caton. He's got a huge 75-inch TV as his second monitor, and he's also got a 42-inch TV in there so he can watch the golf whilst he's playing. Now he's using a powerful 4080 graphics card inside his PC, which is going to be able to run GSPro in 4K on Ultra, absolutely no problem at all. And one thing I asked him about was the mural that he's got on the side wall. And he said that he got the picture from Shutterstock and it was printed onto canvas and he glued it onto a wooden frame. Now, I'm sure you'll agree this is an absolutely beautiful home golf simulator setup. So, Asgeir, thank you very much for sharing it with the community. I hope that it provides some inspiration for any potential simulator golfers out there who are watching, or even anybody who's already got a setup and they're just looking to upgrade certain aspects as well. Now, if you want any information about Asgeir's simulator setup, then I'll pop all the info down in the description below with some links as well, so you can head over and you can buy something that he's got himself. Right, one question that keeps popping up on my Instagram and in my YouTube comments is, would I recommend the original SkyTrak or the Square Golf launch monitor? Because they're both coming in at a similar sort of price. They're both photometric launch monitors. So if I had to give a little bit of advice, what I usually say to people is, I would probably go for the Square. Now, as much as I love SkyTrak and it's always been fantastic for me and I've found it to be extremely accurate, the Square Golf launch monitor just seems to give a little bit of a better experience in terms of its software and how fast the ball is recognized into the virtual world compared to SkyTrak's 2 or 3 second delay. But I think the main thing is the subscription costs. Now, the way that I'm looking at it is the people that are going to be looking at a Square Golf launch monitor or a SkyTrak launch monitor are probably building their first golf simulator setup. If you want to do that, you might not be 100% sure how good simulator golf is, or you might be on a budget, then I would say to you, go for the Square Golf launch monitor, simply because the amount of stuff that you get included without paying a subscription is fantastic for beginners. So like I just mentioned, you get very little shot delay. It's almost immediate. You get access to playing virtual courses straight out of the box. You don't have to pay any subscription fees for those. You get club data with the Square Golf launch monitor. Yes, you have to put little stickers onto the shaft of your golf club, but that's not a big deal. You're getting some reasonable club data on there. And yeah, overall, it's a cheaper launch monitor. You can get it for about £700, whereas the SkyTrak's about £900. So that would be my recommendation. Not that I have anything against the SkyTrak at all, because it's been a superb launch monitor for me. I just think if you are just new to the golf simulator game or launch monitor stuff, then yeah, go for the Square Golf launch monitor. You can check out some discount links that I've got to the Square Golf launch monitor and the SkyTrak for that matter, and all other launch monitors in the description below this video. So head down there if you're looking at buying a launch monitor to save yourself a little bit of money. Right, this week's challenge for you is at the stunning Silloth-on-Solway Golf Club, right? Now, Silloth-on-Solway is not too far away from where I live, and it's ranked the 47th best course in the UK. And in my first-hand experience, it is one hell of a tough track. Silloth-on-Solway, it's windy as f***, but I love it already. can't remember what I shot when I played there. I think I was pushing 90 again. But yeah, what an amazing links course. And I'm going to take you to the 9th hole. So here we are. The 9th hole is a 140-yard par 3. It's a small green and it's got like 7 pot bunkers all around it, okay? It's absolutely stunning. So if you want to recreate this challenge and take me on, then I'm playing from the blue tees, which are the tips, and we've got Saturday pin positions, which is quite generous. It's right in the middle of the green, but like I say, it's not the biggest of greens, and it's surrounded by all of these disgusting pot bunkers. So I'm gonna have 3 shots. I'm gonna see how close I get to the pin, and then you guys can have a go at trying to beat me, and then let me know in the comments how you get on. So I've got a 9-iron. It's a little bit heavy to start with, Mitchell, and that is very fortunate not to be in a pot bunker, but I'm not on the green. It was an awful strike to start with. Now, come on, I need to get 1 on the green at least, just so you've got something to beat. That should be good. Oh, this could be amazing, guys. This could be amazing. Bite. Oh. What is that? 8'9". I ain't gonna beat that. Can anybody beat that? 1 more try. See if I can get it in the hole. What a shot that was. Pulled that a bit. Oh no, that may be in a bunker. That may be in a pot bunker. There you go. I just wanted to give you a feel of what the pot bunkers will be like. Let me show you what it's like. What an awful view that is. Oh, yeah, that'll be a lovely shot, wouldn't it? Thankfully, don't have to hit out of there today. So this week's challenge, the 9th hole at Silloth-on-Solway Golf Club. Can you be 8'9"? Let me know in the comments below. Now on next week's show, I'm going down to Surrey and I'm going to be playing the amazing, do you know what? I've got a ridiculous week planned, okay? I'm playing on Monday night, Hankley Common, an amazing top 100 golf course. I've played it before. I'm playing it with some of the guys down at Golf Swing Systems. Cannot wait. Again, it was a course that pretty much chewed me up last time I played it. So I've got a target to go down there and smash it. Then on the Tuesday night, I'm going to be playing Fox Hills, which I cannot wait to go and play down there. And then on Wednesday, I've got another round of golf at Windlesham. So I have got a ridiculous week of golf coming up. And prior to all of that, this weekend, I've got my golf society at Hart Common up here in the northwest of the UK. So I'll fill you in at how we get on our amazing Uncoachables Golf Society, as well as loads of new launch monitor news. I'm making some new videos down with the guys at Golf Swing Systems, mainly, like I said before, about the SkyTrak software. I'll be testing out the Unicore Game Day software and making a video about that. So I will fill you in at how I get on down there next week. If you've enjoyed this video, if it's been informative, then please hit the like button. If you're new to handicap golf, then please subscribe to the channel for plenty more golf simulator and launch monitor news, product reviews, all of that sort of stuff. And yeah, if you are new to golf simulators and you'd like to learn how to build one, check out the links down below in the description to my online course, which gives you a step-by-step guide, holds your hand through the whole process of building a golf sim, gives you all the information that you're going to need to know so you can make the best purchases that are suited to you and your setup. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I will see you next week.